What's up, family? Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about the idea that consistency is all about discipline, about forcing yourself to show up, about being hard on yourself until you get results. But that's not how consistency actually works, at least not sustainable consistency. See, I've learned that I'm consistent because I'm self aware. And most specifically, I'm consistent because I pay attention to how I communicate with myself. Because the voice you live with the most is the one inside your own head. And if that voice sounds chaotic, cruel, or impatient, your habits will not stick. Your motivation will not last. And your energy will always feel drained. Consistency starts internally. We usually talk about consistency like it's a personality trait, like some people just have it and others don't. But consistency is really a relationship you have with yourself. If every time you mess up, insult yourself, rush yourself, or shame yourself, your nervous system learns that showing up is unsafe. Why would your body want to be consistent with something that feels like punishment? Ask yourself. See, self-awareness changes that. When you start listening to how you talk to yourself, you realize how often you're interrupting your own growth. The inner dialogue matters more than the plan. You can have the best routine, the best schedule, the best intentions, but if your inner dialogue sounds like, you should be further by now, why aren't you doing more to be more disciplined? You'll always fall off. Your system stays in survival mode. Self-awareness communication sounds different. It sounds like, okay, today was off. That's okay. I'm getting better at doing this. Noticing the small wins. What do I need right now to get back into the rhythm? And I can restart without punishing myself. That's not being soft. That's being effective. See, consistency is built on trust. You don't stay consistent with people you do not trust. And your body is the same way. If you keep promising yourself things and then breaking those promises with no compassion, your body stops believing you. Self-awareness builds trust. You start making smaller promises, more honest ones, and you follow through without drama. That's how consistency becomes natural instead of force. How you talk to yourself when you're tired matters. Anyone can be consistent when they're motivated. That part is easy. The real test is how you speak to yourself when you're tired, overly stimulated, or disappointed. Do you rush yourself? Do you compare? Do you catastrophize one-off days into whole identities? Self-awareness lets you pause and say, this is where I usually turn on myself. And instead, you choose a different one. No hype, no pressure, just clarity. Self-talk shapes self-image. If you consistently say, I'm inconsistent, I'm lazy, I never stick to anything, your brain accepts that as a role. But when you say to yourself, I'm learning how I work, I'm adjusting instead of quitting, I'm returning back to myself, your identity shifts. Consistency follows identity, not the other way around. This is why awareness beats willpower. Willpower burns out. Awareness adapts. When you're self-aware, you notice when you're pushing too hard, when you need rest, when your expectations are unrealistic. And instead of quitting, you recalibrate. That's why consistency becomes quieter over time, less dramatic, and more grounded. A gentle framework. If you're struggling with consistency, it doesn't mean you're broken. It might just mean you've been talking to yourself like someone you wouldn't trust. Try this reframe. I'm not inconsistent. I'm learning how to support myself. That sentence alone can change how you show up for yourself. And remember, consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about being honest, being gentle, and being willing to listen when your inner voice is asking for better and not louder. If today's episode gave you something to sit with, carry it with you. Let it show up in your thoughts, your choices, and the way you treat yourself tomorrow. Thank you for spending time with me today. Until next time, stay aware, stay kind, and keep communicating with yourself that will help you grow.